Okay, so hello everyone present over here and a very good evening. Hope all of you are well and fine. So this is Satyajit, your host for today's session. We are delighted to have all you in this webinar by Girlscript Rourkela, which is a part of WebWiz, the Web Development Club of NITR. We have at this present moment with us Mr. Satyam Bhuyan, who is a very distinguished photographer, not only in our state Odisha, but all over the country. Indeed, it is needless to say that we are equally excited and delighted to have him here. Talking about the man of the moment, Mr. Satyam is pursuing his BTech from LPU but has been a premier photographer for the past few years. His illustrious journey in photography started 3, 4 years back, I guess. He started exploring communities and went on traveling far off places with his favorite gadget camera. And his major breakthrough came in 2019 when he was declared as runners-up of a competition organized by Nikon. And from there on, there is no looking back. He's famous for his aerial shots, which is an amalgamation of art, observation, and perfect execution. Not only aerial, but his travel photography and portrait shoots are just extraordinary. I personally feel that his photos are stress busters because of his diversified captures, which includes nature, cultures, mountains, rivers, and whatnot. And if you have not checked his website, Instagram page, and his YouTube page as well, it's my humble request to do so because the eyes just lit up when you see such exceptional shots. Words gonna fall short if I continue appreciating his work, which is beyond any doubt terrific. So any budding photographer who is keen to observe and learn can take his photos into absolute consideration. Only if you could know the patience, hard work, dedication, and diligence it takes to take such marvelous shots. But here he is with us to share a pie of his knowledge that he has gained throughout the years based on the photos that he shot through phone only. Without taking more time, I would like to invite Mr. Satyam, who is here, to proceed with his talk. So before we move on to the slides, I would like to request all of you present over here to shoot your questions, queries, views in the YouTube comment section. So okay, here we go. The floor is yours, Satyam bhai.
Okay. Hello, Satyajit. First of all, thank you so much for acknowledging my work and acknowledging me. And hello, everyone. Hopefully, you are really excited like I am. And so today we'll be talking about phone photography and what are the limitation, what are the things that you can do by your phone. Because as you know, nowadays all the telephone companies are giving a lot of importance and the technological advancement in the field of their camera. So, and mobile is really, as you know, it's one of the necessary things everyone needs to have with their hands and to go anywhere. So, we'll be talking about phone photography. So, without wasting any time, let's continue. First of all, I just want some interaction thing with you all. So, I hope that you pay the equal amount of attention and everything. So, how many of are you in photography? Can you please I mean just to yes or no, you can answer in yes or no. How many are of you interested in photography or something like that, such that you can know brief about it, or you are more interested but you didn't got enough chance to show up that skill or to execute anywhere, so you can just come up with it, who is the photography lover.
Okay, so YouTube comment section में Aniket Pal is really interested. He said he is interested in photography, and
Okay.
there are more people coming up. Yeah, so Aniket Pal is interested. We have Saswat Kumar Mishra here who is interested. In the YouTube comment section, it's coming up. So yeah,
Great. So first of all, without wasting any time, the first thing about camera. Okay, I mean, let me talk about this phone camera as well. So, can you please help me to such as get some frames?
sorry.
I mean, can you please help me to get some frames? I mean, any frame you can bring up any frame. I'll talk about some basics. Then I'll go to the
Okay,
content.
so the photographs that you yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Rohan, can you just slide up the PDF only? Uh, yeah, bring down to page number 8 or 9. So you can see that. Okay, so
Great.
for this one.
Yeah, it's great. So first of all, when the word photography comes to your mind, I mean my mind, the first thing that I see is like, I mean, how do I capture a thing? I mean, capture a thing in a proper angle and a proper composition. There are many things that is involved inside a picture. In a frame, there are many things like composition, the right shutter speed, ISO, then comes your aperture. Then the biggest thing is whenever you are clicking a photo, make sure you find a story behind it, because a story, I mean, a picture without a story is as equal to, like, you can say anything. I mean, a life without a soul, something, a body without a soul, you can say that. So the story is the key factor in a photograph. I mean, every picture of you and whatever you are clicking must have a story, and that is what I used to follow since the very first day of my photography. First, so next thing that I used to see is a proper moment. I mean, you need to wait for the moment. It's something like, uh, when I click a picture, most of the time, I used to recreate. I mean, I used to go through many Instagram pictures, there are many websites like 500px or anywhere. So I used to see some pictures. I observe many things. I used to see how the different artists used to, frame some pictures. So what I do, before going to any place, I used to do a lot of homework, because homework is really essential. You should know, if you're going to, suppose if you're going to Kolkata, so you should know where are the places that you can get a proper picture, photo square locations of Kolkata, first of all. This is what I'm talking about travel photography, and in fact mobile photography as well. So first of all, you should know the place very well. You should be acquainted with the sun. I mean, where is the best sunset spot, or you should be acquainted with where is the beautiful sunrise that I can get if I travel to this place. First of all, you need to keep these things in your mind. Next, coming to what you are going to click. Yeah, that's a very obvious question. See, so make sure that when you visit to a place, make sure that you already have some composition in your mind, because that really helps a lot. Sometimes, like, we used to feel blank, like what I'm going to click. And if for a street photographer, that is very easy, because street photography is all about connections. I mean, you need to connect one object with the other object, or one element with the other object. So that is how it is. You should be very much clear and specific about what are you going to click, because once you plan, I mean, once you are, I mean, already knowing the fact that this is what I'm going to click, then you can, do a lot of homework and do a lot of research on the place, and you can execute the shoot. For example, the particular picture you were seeing on the screen, I took this picture with my Realme X7 Pro. That was a phone I was doing there. I had a brand collaboration in Realme last month, and this was the picture I shot with their phone. So that was a challenge we were actually having. Though I was having a challenge of light painting. I should click a light painting photo, and that was what I did. So in this particular frame, we are seeing, this picture is shot in manual mode, and in manual mode, I kept the shutter speed of 8 seconds, I guess, and I mean, shutter speed of 8 seconds and ISO 400. So yeah, and this was completely no light zone. I mean, there was no light present there. So I found a tree which doesn't have any branches. I mean, it doesn't have any leaves or anything. It was a kind of dead tree which was present in a river. I mean, in between a water body, or completely surrounded by water body. So so what was there in my mind, like, if I can light this tree up in a very proper way, so I can get a very good composition, and you can make a lot of stories with this picture. You can say this is a tree that is be lighted by some hope, dead tree lighted by a hope. You can say that, or even you can say this is something, alien is coming with a spaceship or something like that. So I particularly executed this shot by some putting a light on my drone. I have fused a light in my drone, and I just spirally went up, taking my drone in that way direction, and this is how this picture was clicked. And see, but in particular, this picture you can make a lot of story. You can create a own. I mean, I mean, if I keep this picture captionless also, you can, if you have some views. I mean, you can I mean, generally you can get an idea, like, that is life. and you can say that is a particular person who doesn't have any feelings or something like that, and light is something which is giving a hope to that body, and the particular composition is made in that way. So this is all about your execution, and as I said, you need to very much specific about what you're going to click, and you should be also doing a lot of homework, like which is the place which doesn't have any. For this particular shot, you should know where is the place that I can get a proper no light, no pollution, nothing. So this picture was clicked in that specific way. And nowadays, all the phones that you see do have manual mode in it, and manual mode or professional mode in it. So you can easily get this kind of pictures, light painting shot. You can even try steel wool photography. Steel wool photography, you might have seen that a lot of flares coming out. Or you can try light painting with the big shaver kind of thing you used to have. You put the light inside it, and you can rotate it, and you can give a formation, anything you want. So even you can do astrophotography with your phone, because nowadays the phone camera and the sensor are really good, and it is really amazing to see this much advancement in the field of phone photography. So this is how it is, and I request the one to go to the next picture. Hello, Siddhant. Yeah. So
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. So this picture is a picture you can see where there is only one single human being, and my idea of taking this picture was there was a backlight coming through. I mean, there was a forest. We are in the center of a forest, and it was a foggy night actually at Mahindragiri, if you know. So there was a car light which was the back of the person, and the person was actually coming towards me. So I saw that, and I asked one of my friends to go to that exact location and start to pose or something like that. So yeah, this is how I clicked this picture. So what my point of showing this picture and telling about it, because you can get a rough idea like how can a frame be created if you have nothing in your hand such that you can click frame. Because as you say, in night time that is really tough to get a picture. Most of the people used to say that in phone photo we don't have a very good camera, or we don't have a very amazing phone quality. But still, my logic of showing this picture is something like there is no boundary in photography, I'm telling you. In fact, in your phone also you can click really good amazing night pictures. First, avoid some kind of things like first of all, if you keep I kept the light was coming in a point source, and I kept that subject in front of the light. So if you find it and you see that different light leaks, that is just because of the fog that was present in the atmosphere. So my point of showing this picture was something like you can create. It is all about your creativity. First of all, in phone photography you don't really have that much option. You can't zoom in. Yeah, you can zoom in, but you won't get that very amazing picture after you zoom, because obviously if you zoom the picture quality is get distorted. So keep some point in your mind. Don't try to shoot in more than 5x in your phone, because if when you click pictures more than 5x you won't get that very sharp image. And this is first thing. Second thing, when you are clicking this kind of pictures at night specifically, avoid getting that light source directly falling in your camera, because if that light source directly fall on your camera, then you won't get this kind of picture, because that then the entire mood of the picture will get it won't be that amazing. Because when you put that direct light source onto your camera, entire skin would get white, or you'll get flares or something like that. So this is what a tips that is I can give you when you click this kind of pictures. And moving forward, you can go to the next picture. Hello.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. So let us let me give you a overview on street photography. So as I said, street photography is something which where you can click pictures on the street. You can find it's all about your creativity. Then the things, it's all about your perspective, the way you see things. If you can zoom in this picture, you can see there are three monks. First of all, let me give you a very good advice about photography. So three, always remember, three is a number which have a lot of importance in visuography. If I say three, if you see, there are in every picture.
Yeah,
Three
rule of
is a
odds.
number. Yeah. Rule of odd is a different thing, but three have a very equal importance in photography and in visual things. Like Three Idiots, there could be Four Idiots, Three Idiot, then the Three Mustache. I forgot that name, but anyway, three is a very essential point because when you see three, just imagine you just just keep a hand on the on the subject. If you see two things, you're it's like you're getting distracted first of all. So three things, when it comes, it forms a triangle. It forms the entire triangle. Your visualization will be going in that direction only. It will start from a point, go to the other point, ending in the other point, first of all. So that was the rule of odd. Satyajit said is right. So that was a rule of odd that is used in the picture, first of all. Second is the rule of third also is used in the picture. Second, and the most important point, the leading lines. Okay, if you see, the person is holding a kind of pipe and it is going to the other person, then it is going to the last person, right? Now coming to the most important point, fourth point, I'm telling you, in this picture, if you see, it is a frame in a frame. Can you get that? There is a frame. You see this two picture, the two objects, like the first monk and the second monk,
And
and
the third
third
mock
monk
is,
is
yeah, it's
inside
in
a
the same
frame.
mock. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this picture, you see a lot of a lot of compositions and lot of things that you can actually frame. So it is not always required that in a only single picture you can only use one rule. There are various pictures I have used multiple rules. Okay, so that is the most important point, because the more rules you add, the more award you get. That is how it is. And and lastly, the most important point about phone photography, I'm telling you, in phone photography there are some limitations. You can't get colors and that amazing colors like in DSLR used to get, because in DSLR you used to have a lot, the color space is really high. We generally click in raw mode, and raw modes allow us to get a lot of color space in a object. We can pull out shadows, we can add magenta into the picture, and can add a lot of things. Still the picture quality won't be hampered. So when you edit a picture, specifically you click by a phone, try to have minimal editing in it. More the minimal editing you add to the picture, the better quality output you get when you after you post process. So this is all about this picture.
Okay, moving on to the next.
Okay, now this picture, it goes under minimal. First of all, minimalistic. Second, you can say it is a rule of odd only, because you see in the line there are all the birds sitting, but there is only one bird who is trying to fly. So you can create a lot of you can create a story from this picture, because you need to be uncommon. You need to be uncommon. You need to be that creative or kind of very unique, because until unless you are unique, no one will notice you. So in this picture, that is what I thought. My thought process was something like that when I clicked this picture. So you should be out of the box. So if you see the entire frame, you see the frame is completely it is completely slashed. It's something like splits. That is the photography composition we have, splitting. So it is used in the split. And second, it is something like, you see, your eye will directly go to the bird that is flying. That is all because all the birds are sitting, and that is the only bird which is flying. So I clicked this picture in the early morning time. I saw there are a lot of birds, and there are actually a lot of activities that are going on. Some birds are flying, some birds are coming, the sitting in the position, and that was the exact time I clicked this picture. And for this kind of picture, I can give you a tip, like try to click burst pictures. Okay, if you click burst pictures, then you can have a multiple option after that, because in burst mode, you click more than 20-30 pictures, then perfectly you choose from those 30-20 pictures which is a perfect frame I have, and you can go on. And now there is also one rule we have in this picture, that is the that's golden ratio. the golden ratio is something like if you divide the picture into four halves, then again and again you divide into four, then again you divide into four. So ultimately you'll find this kind of spiral thing that is coming ending in the subject. If you start the photo from that extreme right side, you see it is coming like this and ending in this point. So it is the golden spiral ratio used to say. So the golden rule of photography, because always the eye is to first intact in that exact position, something not completely centric, but tilted toward the downward. So that is what it is used in this picture. That is the reason why this photo tends to be very appealing. Can you please go ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in this particular picture, this picture was something not the way you are seeing right now. It is kind of, I have changed the color. I have toned in a very artistic way. But I'll ask many people not to do it because the reason why I did that is something like it is something you see from black. It is going to a kind of dark blue, then it is going to a light blue, then it is completely going white. So you see all the sets of blue here, right? All the sets of blue you can find. If you can zoom, you can find there is all the sets of blue it here. Now, first you see all the sets of blue, so that is really appealing when you see a picture something like this. Second, we have a end center framed, okay. Then you also have reflection in the frame, and when you see this picture, the subject is slightly towards the down portion, and it seems that he is going and running towards that ship, right? So let's create a story here. I mean, it's something like a ship is going to go. I mean, the ship has some. The ship is waiting for this person. Person is late, and he is running towards the ship. That is very important to him. So that is the very big point. When you click a picture, it must have a story. If you have a story, trust me, then your picture is hit. This is all the things that you should keep in your mind, because as I mentioned earlier, phone photography, there are limitations. You can't really take a phone and click astrophotography, right? Yeah, you can click moon, but not astrophotography with your phone. Yeah, you can do that, but you won't get that very satisfying result then. You can't click a tiger is sitting there, and you can't click wildlife from this phone. You can do that, but you won't get that very sharp image. You get my point? So these are the things that you should keep in your mind. You should be creative enough, first of all, and creativity comes from it's something like you need to master that, right? You need to practice. You should know your device first. So knowing your device is a very important point. You should know what your camera can't do. You should know what your phone camera can't do, first of all. It's not like you should know what your camera can do, but also you should know what your camera can't do. Why I'm giving a stretch on this can't do? Because when you come to know that, okay, for that you need to taste your phone camera in all the dimensions. You're getting my point? You should taste your device first. You should start exploring. You click anything, but keep a thing on your mind that you should follow some composition tips. You should follow some rules of photography, and in a proper visualization. Ultimately, your photo should be appealing. That is what it is. If suppose that I saw many pictures that don't follow any rule, but still the pictures tends to be very attractive, very amazing. So that is what at last the photography is all about. Your picture must look good. I genuinely believe in this thing. For any photographer, that is not that I must not say that you should follow rules or not. That is up to you. What rules you follow, what composition tips you follow. But the end product should be lit. That should look good. At least that if you keep your picture, show your picture to 10 people, at least 8 to 9 people should say, okay, this photo is nice. When you get that thing, think that, I mean, then 50% of your work is already done. So this is all about how you compose and all about mobile photography. Coming to the next point, next picture, can I please get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the same thing, and so this is the same exact point. What I'm telling in the last picture I said. Here we follow that reflection first of all, and we have multiple subjects here. If you see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It went in this way. So there is nothing to more to speak about this picture because it is center frame and also have reflection. But this is all about the same thing you should keep in your mind.
Yeah, moving on to the next picture.
Yeah. So now, uh, timing is a very key point in photography. Okay, I mean, if you miss the time, you miss everything. I have clicked this picture at Banaras last. Sorry, Vrindavan. I'm sorry. I clicked this picture at Vrindavan last year. Holi, I went there. So I took this picture with my Huawei P30 Pro, and it really have a good camera that time. But now, obviously, you have a lot of more options in your hand when you buy mobile. So here there is a lot of smoke. I mean, smoke of these colors, and they're rushing. There is a chaotic moment everywhere. People were sitting, they're throwing colors on them. So I was actually waiting for that right moment. When should I click the picture? Because that is a really amazing point. You should wait for your turn. That is a really important point. And when you get it, try not to miss that. So that is all about this picture. And here there is no specific rule, but still the picture is to look good because it has some leading lines, if you see, and if it have a very dynamic movement and a dynamics, the picture dynamicity is getting increased due to that color. Okay, I mean, the color is all through that complete split. It's going along, and the center person also standing in between two color waves. So the timing is the most essential point in this kind of pictures when you click. Can you please move ahead? Yeah. So this is exactly, I mean, if you say reflection, perfect reflection picture. And that was a time of rainy season at my place, Baripada. It's my home place here. So I and my friend, we just went to see what we get or something. We just went there, and I saw a dense amount of cloud during the sunset. It is all covered, and in the down person, the sun is setting. And now let me say with this incident, this particular moment, I didn't had my camera. Okay, I mean, I didn't had my DSLR with me because we just simply went. Now in those particular time when you don't have your camera, the mobile comes to play, because you already have a beautiful site and you can click a really good content out of it and create a really beautiful Instagram post or something like that. So that was a particular time when my camera, my phone came into place. And if you see, it's something like a guy is jumping and he has shadows, he has a center frame. You can find symmetry in this picture as well. It is completely symmetrical, and the center frame, reflection, the thing. And apart from that thing, you have that color, the split of colors from white to black in a different direction. As you talk about the blues, this is something like a orange to black, you see. So these are the moment, you should try creating something. Because if now just imagine this picture without that person, without that subject. So this picture indicates joy. It is the color, the skies, the sky's color tends to be joy. I mean, the sky colors tends to be rejoicing. I mean, you see, when the sky is pink, it is said that the sky is laughing, the sky is smiling. Apart from that, the guy is also jumping. So this picture indicates joy. And you can create a lot of story from this picture as well. You can see that it is all separated. Everywhere is dark, but when you smile, the world seems to be beautiful. So it is all about what you see, what you create in your mind. But my particular reason of clicking this picture was something, I really got a very good split of colors. I got a subject. And always try to keep a subject in your picture, because this picture without a subject is as equal to, without having any composition. I mean, without any, as I said, I mean, life without a soul. So subject is also always required in your pictures. Now coming to the next picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, with your cell phone, you can try a lot of selfie. I used to try a lot of selfies with my different creative selfies with my phone. Here, this is a very common frame. If you guys are from Odisha, and if you are visiting Konark or Puri, you will find a lot of frames like this. So this particular frame was just to tell you guys that you can actually click a lot of beautiful, creative portraits of yourself, and that is what it is all about, the frame. And it really looks good when you create some, because as for me, I'm a kind of photographer. If anyone clicking a picture of mine, I'm the most unsatisfied person, I'm telling you. They can click 1,000 picture of mine, still I'll be like, no, no, ye bhi acha ho sakta tha. But I always try, that is the reason why I always try to click my picture by myself. So this is what I get. So this kind of selfies, this kind of portrait, you can click by yourself, just it is all about your vision. And that is all about it. And it is, and first of all, always try, to shoot things, to observe things, because observation is a very first step towards photography. Observation is a very vital thing. The more you observe, the better you get. I have seen many people, my friends, when I started photography, my mentality was something like, I'll go to a place. I won't. I was just going to a place and I was just simply clicking pictures. My observation was not that very high that moment, but gradually, when you explore, when you click, when you see things, when you observe things, you definitely get good pictures. So in street photography, in any photography, try to observe things. Try to create your own perception, okay? And that is the key factor in this kind of pictures or any type of pictures. So can you move ahead?
Yeah.
Now, exactly in this frame, if you see, this was shot with my phone, and this was kind of skies that I generally see in Odisha during the time of September or October. So post monsoon time, you generally get this kind of cloud, and the sunset used to be very beautiful. Here, there is no such rule apart from kind of rule of third. You find just a tower in between, and in this portion also you find a rule of third. But only thing about the photography is that movement. So you shouldn't miss that moment. You should be there at a particular point, because uh, if you are there at that point, I mean, photography is also that important in when you observe thing, as well as you should be the right you should be in the right place at the right time. So that is one of the very hypothetical thing, because obviously, suppose you are standing here, I mean, you are at your rooftop and you see a beautiful sky, the exact sky, up to the point you reach to the point, you won't get that. But it is that important actually to reach that, to that point. And about this picture, if I say, it was a very bright sunny day that day actually. And by the time of afternoon, I saw many floating kind of sky, floating clouds in the sky. So it was a planned shoot actually. I already, I mean, as I saw the sky, I mean, we had kind of water droplets kind of clouds in the sky. The mammoth, I mean, the mammoth clouds. It is used to. It is terminal. I think the terminology of these clouds is like mammoth or something like that. But I planned actually. So let me go to that place and click some really good epic pictures. The sky is really amazing. So reaching to the specific point at a specific time is the very key factor, I'm telling you, in photography. Always try to be there. Always try to plan and try to execute. And these things comes when you practice. The more you practice, the more you get. So can you move ahead? Yeah. Now, this is Safdarjung tomb at Delhi, and the picture, the thing you are saying, it is of reflection, and this is an artificial reflection that is created actually. For just example, this is just imagine these are two phones, and what I do is something like this is, suppose this is a camera. What I do in general, I used to keep my phone in this way, and I click things. When you do this kind of thing, you find that reflection of the subject in your phone. So actually, it was made in that way. And actually, I didn't had a phone, but I had my ND filter, and in the ND filter, I got a complete, reflection without any distortion. And it was actually click in that point. It was a center framed. It was a complete symmetrical picture. If you cut this I mean, this place into four halves, you get the exact thing. So rule of symmetry, the center framed, and it's completely like a very very specific. All the everywhere it is black, but center it is of colorful one. So you can try this kind of pictures with your phone. It's very amazing to shoot and create this kind of content.
Yeah. So next picture.
Yeah. So this is a kind of street picture, if you can say. And this particular shot I did, I clicked at Pushkar. At Pushkar, you used to find a lot of shop with traditional out. The people used to wear a lot of traditional outfit like sari, and all the people you see with a very beautiful turban. So this was a center framed plus frame in a frame. You see the chappals used to create a frame. Inside it is a frame, and it is show. It is a this picture. This kind of pictures are called environmental portraits. Environmental portraits is something like you not only show the person but also show the entire thing that is the person is surrounded by. So I clicked this picture, and that time I actually didn't had my my DSLR actually. So this is the most important point I'm telling you. When you are clicking things, most of the time you don't carry out DSLR with us, and now that phone needs to come in place. Always try when you click this picture. Always try to keep the picture as candid it is, because these people they don't know. Some people they don't like when you click the pictures in straight, and in fact when they used to be in their own moment, but when you ask them to pose, they used to be very annoyed. They are very camera conscious. So try to click random things. So what I was doing is something like I was keeping my phone like this. I framed the picture like this, and I was moving this side that side, and I was just clicking pictures, and finally I got that. So this is all about how you should try doing phone photography.
Okay. So I guess that's it. The photos have been reviewed, but there are lots of questions coming up in the YouTube comment section. I would like to highlight some of them. So
Yeah.
first question that comes up is like, yeah, the golden ratio spiral thing that you mentioned here. So what is?
Mhm.
Can you explain?
Okay, so golden ratio, I'll tell you. Just for example, you have this is your frame. First of all, you cut this picture into half. Okay, and cut this. Then the down portion you have, you cut into equal half. And again, equal half. What I mean to say is something. Let me do this thing. You'll get understand very easily. Or this. Okay, so we have this paper with in front of me. I'm telling you. So what I do is first cutting into half. Okay, so just imagine you are cutting a frame into half. Then again you cut this frame into this half. Then again this half. Now imagine this is a frame and you have this picture. Your subject should be here. For better understanding, I'll suggest you should go check YouTube. Because it's very tough for me because I don't have a pen and paper with me right
Of
now,
course.
and so you should try. Just type golden ratio in YouTube or direct in Chrome. You'll completely get a good idea about it, a brief idea
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. So YouTube, mein, yeah, it's available. Correct. Okay. So the next question that is here with us. So at what point of time do you think the photo is over edited? Like
See,
when you edit.
editing. Okay, suppose editing is like a cooking. It's something like I believe when you cook something, that is what editing is for me. If you put extra spice, if you put extra saturation or extra vibrance, then it is over spicy. If you keep that vibrance or your exposure into less a bit, then it is less spicy. So it is your taste. Okay, it is all about your taste. What exactly you tend to see, because I if you go through my gallery, I generally keep my picture you know uh, very not very artificially toned. My pictures, if you see, they are not very artificially toned, because
Correct.
toning is a very separate unit, and it is all about how much spice and how much. It is all about your taste. I suppose I like tandoori chicken. It doesn't mean that my friend also should like tandoori chicken, right? So there are many friends of mine who like even butter chicken. So my point of telling you this thing is giving you this example is like, uh, can you someone please turn off your mic? I feel there is some disturbance.
Yeah, can continue.
Yeah. So so you should be very specific about how much editing you want to put in a picture. Now coming to the editing point of view, I'm telling you, always try to keep your brightness level at a 50%, 45 to 50%. Then edit your picture. Now, first, second, try avoid. I mean, always avoid to edit your picture in AMOLED display. Why I'm telling you, I have seen. I last few years back, I was using OnePlus 6, so I didn't had that much idea about my pictures. I mean, my colors that is going I'm putting into. So I used to generally, edit my pictures by on the phone because that time I was not that very professional. uh, then I found many people started complaining like your picture is really oversaturated. I feel like that, and something or some of the people used to say that is underexposed or something like that. So it differs. So I'll suggest if you are professional into photography, try to edit your pictures on your laptop screen, keeping your display at 50%. I mean your brightness of 50%. Second, try to caliber your display. Your display should be calibered. Okay, I mean there are very color calibration is done. You should caliber that. If you caliber that, then you will find the true tones. Now, the third important point: edit a picture. I mean, tone a picture or edit a picture up to the limit that it doesn't distort it. I mean, the color doesn't fade or the quality doesn't give off. Okay, because when you over edit a picture, the quality generally tends goes down, and you may see I have a lot of drone pictures in my profile. Many people used to ask me, in fact, brother, how do you edit your drone pictures? Because when we edit those same drone pictures, we don't get that quality. Now, trust me, 80% of the drone pictures that you see in my profile are edited by phone, but I still like managed to get that good quality. Uh, and the reason behind that is something like I generally edit the pictures up to the limit it doesn't give up. So always try to edit a picture until unless when you see there is some kind of noise that is coming when you are saturating or you are vibrating or picture or something like you are the ambience or contrast you're pulling it. So try to keep it as simple. Okay. And after that, if you're into toning, split toning, and if you're more interested into moody pictures, toning kind of, you might follow Gunit, Sankit Joshi. If you follow these people, they used to tone a picture in a Hollywood style. That is a different chapter then. Any other questions?
Yeah. So continuing in that question, for example, if you have edited a photo and you like that photo yourself, but the
Uh-huh.
people around you say that no, it is not a good picture. So how do you accept this? Because in your
Okay.
view, it's a good photo.
See, art is really subjective, first of all. It is not really important that the picture which I like, the other person must like. You get me? There are many pictures. I'm telling you example, the Nikon picture which I won was not liked by many people. In fact, I won the competition. Okay, I mean that is what I mean to tell you. It is really not all the time. It's not necessary. Everyone will be liking it. Okay, I mean it is really not necessary. See, you try to create something really unique. First of all, second, try to be self-satisfied. In many occasions, I'm telling you, when I'm going to click holy or something like that, I don't get a proper frame, but still I like that picture because I know what's the story behind clicking that picture. First of all, I know what is why the reason I clicked. I don't simply post a picture or edit a picture or click a picture which doesn't have I mean that kind of approach. Okay, so it is really necessary because okay, I mean you should try first itself. You should satisfy yourself. If you are satisfied, trust me, after few pictures, people will come to notice your taste, and when they come to know about your taste and they actually follow you, then is the game changing moment. Then everyone will start liking the way you are. You shouldn't change yourself. That is the attitude towards a life you should also have. Be as you are. I mean, that is the uniqueness you have. after a point, people will start loving you.
Exactly. Okay, so another question that has come up, like, yeah, so you are into drone photography, as we all know. So people are asking, like, what are the difficulties that come up with drone photography?
So first of all, drone photography is equal to mobile photography. Why I'm telling you, because when I click a picture by my phone, generally I used to get the same or kind of good kind of people, but not that very amazing picture. I mean, picture quality as I get in my DSLR. So editing is a first point you should keep in your mind. I mean, which is really a tough point when you are into aerial photography, because editing part you may lack. You may not have enough colors to enrich your picture or something like that. Second is something like there are a lot of restrictions. There are a lot of things that I need to keep in my mind when I click a picture by my drone, because many places there is not we are not allowed to fly our drone. Plus when you fly your drone, there are many things like you may find a electric wire, you may find a bird coming and hitting to your drone, you may crash your drone when you land or when you take off, when you go through a subject. So there are many things and many risks involved in aerial photography actually.
So any experience with you, like a bird striking with a drone or something like that?
I generally didn't had any experience till now, and I wish that I don't have, because I'm really because drone is a very costly device actually, and if you I mean if you crash your drone, there is no chance of getting your drone repaired in that well organized way, because drone have a lot of sensors inside it, and it's really tough. One, your sensor get uncalibrated, it's really tough for it to get calibrated perfectly, and to because it is all about the balance. I mean, two props turn in this prop and this prop in equal direction, these are in the opposite direction. So once it get crashed, it is really tough to bring back your drone to that position from you know so I generally wish that I don't have that nightmare, because many of my friends have crushed their drone, many of my close friends have lost their drone. So I'll suggest everyone to keep these things in your mind when you fly your drone. There are many risks involved into it.
Okay, so another question that has come up, how long have you been into photography and how much time does it take exactly to be a professional?
See, about photography, if I tell you, I took 4 years. Actually, I dropped 2 years after my 12th. Then I started doing biomedical engineering. I just thought of, and in fact, I got a seat in your college as well. But I was about to pass out this year at your college, but I didn't went there. I mean, I thought of going out of Odisha and explore some places and culture. So to be very honest, I started photography in a point where I was actually kind of depressed. I was left out. I mean, I was alone in my life, because when I left Odisha, it was for everyone, like there's a new place and it's really take a lot of time to make friends as well, and people underestimate you. True. I mean, it's a very big university. I'm from a very small place of Odisha, so people generally underestimates you, okay, because they will be like, you don't know anything, we know many things. So at that point now, and I'm a very peace loving person in that way. I really don't fight in general. I used to be like, okay, I don't want anything, let me be aside. Then I started traveling, because I felt like traveling actually cures, anyone who is going through depression, anyone who is going through any point in your life when you feel depressed or kind of bad or sad, I'll suggest to travel. Give up everything, at least for a day or two, travel alone. When you travel alone, there are many things that you see. We sometimes feel that our life have all the problems in it, but when you see the entire world by the way, going alone, then you come to know that what is the importance of your existence, what is the importance of their existence, and what are the main problem that the people are facing, and their problem is really bigger than the problem that you are going through actually. So there are a lot of change in perception when you travel alone, to be very honest. There are a lot of responsibilities and a lot of risk, but yeah, you I mean, it will be something. It was for me. It was a really life-changing event when I started traveling. Then I saw many beautiful places, many things. I'm telling you, first time I went to Himachal, I didn't have my camera. So that time I thought, dude, why didn't I got my camera? Because by the time I didn't had my camera actually. So I saw beautiful sunrise. These mountains are completely golden when you see the sunrise. The first rays of sun is falling in the mountain and a blue background. It is really dreamy to see Manali at a sunrise time, specifically winters. So I was surprised, and it was like for the first time for a guy from Odisha visiting Himachal and seeing these beautiful skies and everywhere. It's like a dream for me. I've seen those things in movie actually. So at that particular time, I thought, let me from the next time when I come, I'll go and first of all from here I went as a traveler in engineering student, but I came back as a photographer. That was what I actually say in every conversation. So I came back to my college. I arranged some money. I got my first camera on September 17, I remember, 2017. And that was the first day I bought my Nikon 3400. Then I started shooting with it. So it didn't took a lot of time for me, to be very honest. After 2-3 months, I just in the weekends I used to do photography. I used to ask. There are very beautiful girls in my campus I found. So I thought that is a very common thing to click there. So that is how I started portrait photography actually. And that because that was a commonly available thing in my college campus I found, because we have beautiful models and beautiful girls around my campus everywhere. I see that is nothing, I mean, no personal thing, but all the girls are beautiful. It doesn't mean that beautiful girls. I'm sorry about that point. So I found very pretty faces, okay, rather than male models or female models. So I started clicking them and I really enjoyed clicking those portraits. I felt like, like I'm making them more beautiful. Just felt like, not telling you. So this is how I started. And gradually I did a lot of collaborations with many makeup artists, many model agencies, many magazines gradually. By the 2018 Jan, I was professional. So September I took a camera, October, November, December I became professional. So that is the amount of dedication actually. It's not about the amount of time you are investing. It is all about the amount of dedication you are showing towards a work. And about my story, if I say, at that time I was either studying or doing photography, or was watching YouTube videos, or was getting any coaching. I didn't got any specific coaching in photography, but I used to see a lot of YouTube videos. That is how I started. I just keep on practicing things on the weekends. So that is how I become a photographer.
But yeah, talking about portraits, what's your take on self-portraits? Have you ever?
Yeah, self-portraits. See, portrait actually, the biggest problem is something you should find a beautiful face to click. Not a beautiful face, but a perfect face to click. So it doesn't mean like a girl or a boy, but equal. I mean, even I had clicked many friends of mine, I mean, male models. So first thing that I see, I'm talking about portrait, then I'll talk about self-portrait. That the first thing that I observe, I mean, you should have a sharp feature of your face. Okay, the feature, the shape of the face should be sharp. The jawline, the nose, the face should be symmetry, the eyes position, and the hair position. There are some things that I keep in my mind when I click fashion portraits. Then coming to the point of self-portrait. Self-portrait is an amazing thing nowadays, but it's a kind of, to master the self-portrait, it's a bit complicated because you need to keep your camera there and you need to click yourself. But it's really fun on clicking self-portrait because you are not, you are really independent at that point. You are not dependent upon any model or any person.
Correct.
So that is a really amazing thing. If you can master that point, then you are really going good then.
So yeah, as we know, you have started with photography in I guess 2017. You said. So did you come across any period where you thought like it's a creative block for you? You thought, yeah, photography is now monotonous for me, or something like that.
See, I'm telling you, for a guy who dropped 2 years I mean, my life was really simple, going in a very good way as everyone. 10, then +2, then within a snap like Thanos, it changed completely. I mean, I dropped 2 years. Many things personally, I had many problems, family problems. My papa went through a very major accident. So within a month, my life was completely upside down. I'm telling you. And from that point, started doing these things. At that point, I saw many things. One of my friend committed suicide and kind of thing. So many things I saw at that point of time. So my life actually changed, within a month or two. And at that point, I started photography. There was no, how do I say, no expectation from my life. I'm telling you, I was something like, let me do. I mean, you just imagine a situation where there is nothing you have. You have nothing. You lose everything, and you start from that point. So generally at that point now you have nothing to lose. So I
Correct.
started from a point when I didn't have anything to lose, because
Yeah.
whatever was about to lose, I lost it. So I don't have anything to lose. Let me do it fearlessly then. Then I started in that fearless intention. My intention was not to earn a lot of money, but to earn a lot. I mean, learn and earn a lot of knowledge and respect in this field.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is how I started.
Yeah. So now, as you have been a professional, who do you look up to as your model, or who do you admire the most in the field of photography?
There are actually many people. I admire them a lot. And now there is Saurabh Bhai, Sebi SG. He is an amazing travel photographer. And I started my travel photography with him. And there are a lot of involvement of him in my life, behind my career, as a mentor, as a big brother. He's really amazing person by heart, and he helps me a lot, improving my skills, giving me tips and tricks, and a lot of things. So he is the biggest role model in the field of photography. Apart from that, there is Rakesh Pulapa sir of drone aerial photography. Then
Yeah.
there is audio photography,
Yeah.
of phone photography. There are different genres, different people, but the
Yeah.
biggest inspiration, I must say, Saurabh Bhai only.
Okay. So, so what is your next destination for photography? What do you looking forward for?
Okay, so this year is the last semester of my BTech, and after that, I'm thinking to pursue MBA at hospital management, because as I'm a biomedical student, there is
Yeah.
not a lot of scopes for me in India. So
Yeah.
now on 20th, I'll be leaving for Brindavan, Holi. At Brindavan, Holi, the Holi starts as 22nd.
Yeah.
22nd to 28th, it will be Holi there. Then I'll be traveling to Punjab for a few days. Then I'll be going to Delhi and Rajasthan. Then again, continuous trip, I'm telling you. Then
Yeah.
by second first week of April, I'll be heading to Kerala. There's a place named Kunur. They used to have a festival named Thiam. I'll be going there. Then after that, I'll be staying some days at Bangalore. And
So,
by mid of April, I'll be there at my home.
so it's a busy schedule. So
Yeah,
can
it's
you
the busiest schedule
suggest
actually.
some? Yeah, can you suggest some names, like some places in Odisha where you can uh, where you can shoot drone photography?
See, aerial photography, it's generally not required. I mean, you can click aerial photography anywhere. I'm giving example during the time of lockdown. Didn't had anything to do. So,
Okay.
okay. Yeah. So during lockdown, I was actually not. I didn't had anything to do. So what I was doing was like flying my drone, in my town, Baripada.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is all about your creativity. Then I'm telling you, you go through Google Map, you'll find many places. If you are staying full composition when you go to that up 500-meter above the sea ground. So aerial photography is all about the, like you do a kind of homework. You go through Google Maps, you see composition, you fly your drone, you do execute it. So there is many places in Odisha to fly. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you need to go through that process of going through the maps and all. So that's a good
Yeah,
point you told about. So
Google. Yeah, yeah. Google Map is the amazing one. It is the savior for real photography.
yeah. Yeah. So there is another question from Anuruddh Jaikumar. He says, "What drones will you suggest for starters?"
For starters, I'll suggest you pick Air 2.
So currently you have, I guess, Cleopatra.
Yeah, I have Cleopatra with me. That is DJI Mavic 2 Pro, and she is with me since a year now, more than a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see
And
how long our relationship is going on.
And any planning on to shift to FPV in near future, because that's where the next generation is.
Yeah, I'll be definitely going for FPV, and for that, I need a team actually. I need some really crazy video editors for me because FPV without video editing is meaningless. I'm telling you. So
Yeah,
once I did a complete either by myself, I learn that kind of cinematography editing, or then only I'll be switching to FPV.
yeah. You have a YouTube page as well. That's for audience. You can check it out, the YouTube page of Satyam Bhuyan. So yeah, there is another question. Is what's exactly the raw mode in mobile do? Uh, Raw mode in mobile. Is there any mode
Uh,
like that?
what your raw mode? Yeah, yeah, that is the mode I was talking about. That's a professional mode, and the raw mode is nothing. I mean that in raw thing, now what you do, your picture quality is to be the picture's color space is to be high. Okay, I mean if you click a picture normally in JPG mode, the pictures will be 3 to 4 MB. But if you click a picture in raw mode, the picture will be 16-17 MB generally, because it increases the color space of a picture. Then you can edit your picture in a very different dimension. You can give a really good tone into it. You can pull a lot of shadows in from your pictures. That is how it is.
Okay. So I think your video is not available. Can you just switch on your camera for the last few minutes and we will get over with it.
Okay, 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 okay. Am I audible? I mean, can you see me? Okay, okay. No
Yeah, yeah, you
problem.
can take your time. You can take your time. Yeah, yeah, few more
No
minutes.
issue.
Yeah, good to go, right? Yeah. So, as I have been saying that we all admire your work, and particularly me, who also likes to click some photos, and I know the challenges that comes across. And you have also been a part of the judging panel for Pixel Share, if you remember, for Third Eye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Last year I was there.
Yeah, exactly. So, awaiting many more such talks and collaboration with you, Satyam, and we really look forward to meet you again, maybe in the campus someday, live in the, physically. Okay. So, yeah,
So
that's
definitely, thank you. Yeah, let me thanks the entire team and the crew that you guys had took a lot of efforts, organizing this talk, and it was really fun. I really had a lot of fun, interacting with you all, and I really hope to see you soon live in your campus, because I really understand it's really tough for the entire crew to manage this kind of talk shows, as well as for me as well, because I generally love interacting with people more rather than just talking to myself in the phone I see. So I used to love interacting physically with everyone. So I hope that this time goes flies very soon, and we meet in your campus soon. And thank you so much to the entire team and people who were here listening to me and my stories. And you can go check my Instagram page. It's @satyam5, and you can even share, check out my website, and let's get connected. Yeah.
definitely people will love your page. Also, there is another question that has come up of late by Niket. He says, "How do you earn money to travel?" I guess that's a secret. You
Okay,
don't
okay. No, it's
disclose it.
not a secret. It's not a secret. I'm telling you. Nothing is secret for anyone. I'm telling you. So my travel thing, I have a lot of collaborations with many agencies, many brands. Like as in, I'm influencer of Nikon, and my all my trips, I where I go, because as I have a kind of good followers and audience in my profile, who is to generally some trips are completely sponsored. Like recently, I had like Odisha, entire Odisha was roaming with, it was a project of Realme I was doing. So the complete trip was sponsored. For example, I did a shoot with Odisha Tourism. It was completely sponsored. So there are some trips which is completely sponsored, and there are few trips which where I just pay the traveling charges, and they pay my staying and fooding charges. So this is all about. And apart from that thing, see, you can't say that when you travel, if you may, if you are a photographer and you are traveling now, and you are spending by your pocket, that is something which you are investing. Trust me, because
Yeah,
if you don't go, you can't sit at your home and you think of clicking Ladakh, right? So you need to
right.
be Ladakh. You need to be at Ladakh to click the pictures of Ladakh. So my point is, this is a kind of investment you are doing. We buy gears, that is a kind of investment. We travel, that is a kind of investment for me. I have traveled, I mean, throughout my journey till now, yeah, the first year of my travel photography, I was not paid at all. So what I do, we go in a group. When you go in a group, na, the expenditure is to the expenditure is to cut down a lot. So we go by a group, we travel by a group. This is a advice I can give you. You should start traveling in a group. You should go by buses or by trains and travel, stay together. That is really fun, that is really fun to travel with your friends and everyone. So, and earning money was never a part of my, target anytime. I mean, yeah, I mean, after a point of time, I really earns a good amount of money, and that actually helps me to. That is a kind of fuel to my passion. I buy my equipments, I travel anywhere, and in fact, I'll be going Iceland very soon. So, so
That's
that is what my
great. Yeah.
so that is what I'm telling about. So many times you need to invest. Okay, that is a kind of
Okay.
investment you do, and generally you'll get that. See, it's all about a karma. If you do some good karma, definitely you'll get some reward. It's something like that only. You start investing in the things that you're good in. Trust me, you'll obviously get the result in a very good way.
Yeah. So how do you approach those companies like Realme for sponsoring those trips, or do they come to
Actually,
you?
I didn't. They actually came to me. I didn't ask actually. Like it was a collaboration. I got a call from Team Realme only, and they asked me for this campaign.
Okay, that's great. That's very great.
Yeah, there are many few companies where you need to ask, but till now I didn't ask anyone. But we got it. I mean, in general.
Yeah, I'm getting it. So I think that's it. That's the last question that I will be asking you. So I think it's 72 minutes of this webinar session. Hope you guys liked it. Just give a like, subscribe our channel, and we pull down the curtains to this spectacular session with Mr. Satyam Bhuyan on the topic of mobile photography. So thank you everyone. We are
Thank
done.
you, guys.
Thank you.